Back with another video. Here's my sort of slightly tweaked Robin deck. You can see some small changes we made with new events, new cards. We took out the 4-cost Sanji, which honestly I'm happy about. I never used them and probably never will. But yeah, so the issue I have with Robin so far is your curve on going second, because your curve on second is 2, 4, 7, 9, and then 10, which is a little weirder because you're not playing this on your 6th on turn. Actually, you don't have a 6th on turn. And I get that 7 lane here would be perfect, but I'd still rather like establish a board with one of these. Like here, like think of this. So we ramp to 7. You play out, you do a 6k swing, you get whatever card out of their hand, and then you play out this. Next turn, you either swing with this or leader, then you play this, and then you swing with leader and Zoro. And then honestly, if this Zoro dies, you still want to protect this Zoro, but honestly, if this Zoro dies next turn, you kind of don't care. Just because like you're already at your turn, you're already at your 9-lin Zoro, 9-lin Luffy and Yamato turn the next turn, so it's kind of okay. Obviously, you'd rather keep this up, but you're not as attached to it anymore, I would say. Anyways, here's my new deck list. Not much different aside from the Sanjis are gone, as you can see. The 7-lin is gone. We actually took out a Zoro, which I actually don't agree with now I think about it. I'll explain why while I'm doing it a little later. But the new cards we added in was the 3-cost Bonney, which I think is very good. The trigger is insane. Tropical Torment. This is a super situational card. It depends on what the meta is. I'd run 1 or 2 because look at the effect. If your opponent has 4 or more life cards, place up to 1 card from the top of your opponent's life into the trash. So it's just an automatic banish. It is a 3-cost turn, so this does have a lot of value if you hit it versus your 4 or 5-cost leader. This card's very good against your 5 life leaders, especially if you're going second. You could play this card and then just do a 6k swing, so they lose a life anyways, and then they probably lose a card or go down to 2 life, or honestly they could go down to 3 life. They could go down to 3 life, and then this card is like probably the best in that situation because you're sitting at 4 life and they're sitting at like 1 life, which is insane. But yeah, super situational card. The only card this has an issue against is RP Luffy. RP Luffy has 3 life at the start, so it's kind of weird to have this card in, which is why we're only running 2. So honestly, it depends on your meta and how many 5 life, 4 life leaders there are. This card is insane against Nami, I'll tell you that. I don't have a Nami game, but I'll try and find one. This card is also insane. I didn't have this in my first list, but I didn't see the value. I didn't know that this was a double search. So this card looks at the top 5 cards, reveal up to 2 cards with triggers other than Dereshi. Add them to your hand. So you get 2 trigger cards. So what you can imagine, we're playing more triggers. More triggers is iffy. Like it's the same sort of top end. The only trigger differences are the Bonnies and this. And we took out the Sanji. So again, we're searching like half our deck with this searcher. We're also searching half our deck with this, and then we're searching like a good, I think the split I had was you're searching 23 cards with this, and you're searching like 35 I believe with this card, and 35 with this card as well. So a lot of your deck is searchable and they don't overlap, which I like. A change I'm gonna make right now, I'm actually going to add in another banner Zoro instead of a 4th Robin, because this, I still think this card is more important than Robin. But also, this is not trigger searchable, this is. So like any searcher you play, you can search out 6 Robin, but you can only get this card from this search. And technically we want this card more than this. So that's the slight change I want to make. Value cards. So I'm gonna explain this card. This card trigger is pretty good. I'll be honest, I haven't found used to it just by playing it raw, but this trigger is really good. It's basically like 5-drop Queen's ability. Draw 2 cards and discard 1 from your hand. So if you get this off of your trigger, like it is insane. You get more cards back. Again, you're trying to maintain hand size. So just getting a card getting a card and then getting 2 cards and then filtering out 1, like a possible brick. And I will tell you, the only bricks, or sorry, the only non-searchables in this are these 2, Ninelin, these 2, Yamato, and these 2. Actually, no, this is searchable. Oh wait, what? Okay, so only these 2 cards are unsearchable. Okay, everything else is searchable. So 4 out of 50 cards are unsearchable, which is pretty insane. So I like this build better. I know it's not that much of a change. The playstyle hasn't changed. We're still trying to get this as our mid-range and then our top end here. We're gonna see matches from a mirror match actually from Robin. Robin in my head plays 2 ways. There's the speedrun to Ace and then just heal with Ace and rush, which I'll tell you my thoughts after a bit. And then we're playing a red-purple Luffy. Robin has a bad matchup into red-purple Luffy just because, again, being a 6k leader, it's sort of the same thing as Shanks where your 8k swing on your swing turn is they only need 3k counter, which isn't that hard to give up. And then we get another purple-black Luffy game. We're learning more things. I think I like this deck list than the one I had before, just because this has a lot of value. We don't play this card, but this card does have value in other matchups, just not the matchups we played today. And then this card's insane. Getting replenishing your hand is really good. Not much else different. We're still playing with a similar engine. I'm doing my research. I'm watching the Japan scene just to see how people are playing Nico Robin. I will say, again, this is more to the idea that Robin is sort of like Yamato 2.0. Like, it's a really great leader effect, but the support in the set isn't there. So all the good cards are going to like previous leaders. So like, and those leaders already have a support. So like, it's gonna take some time for Robin to catch up. But I think this is a good start. Leading while ramping is the way to go with Robin, because if you have a leader that has banish, you obviously want them to lose cards, like whether they're countering or whether they're banishing their life. I think that's the way to play this. Like, you just want to get rid of their resources. So I think this is a great start to it. But for now, just because the set's still new, people are still trying to find out what the best deck and format is. There's a lot of talks that Dofi, like Blue Dofi, and I believe Shanks, I think it's Shanks. Blue Dofi and Shanks are the 2 best decks in format. Blue Dofi just got insane. Blue Dofi just got insane support from his new starter deck. And then Shanks just got some insane support in the set, which is fine. I'm not necessarily complaining. That's me silently coping of like, oh, it should have been me. It should have been Robin. But like, honestly, I actually kind of like that Robin is being slept on, because like that just gives us more room to cook, you know. Anyway, so let's just get to the matches. I think the first one's going to be the mirror match versus Robin. So I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so here's the first round. It's a Robin Ditto, which I'm super excited about because from what I know from like everyone else's list, everyone's still in a mindset of the speedrun to 10 and carded, and yeah, speedrun to 10 kind of mindset. Obviously this is a different approach to it, so I'm just kind of overall curious to see how this one goes. So yeah, so we chose first because again we want to continue to apply pressure and hand size. I will say for this specific one, oh, we're not hitting play. Oh, we are. Okay, so for this specific one, we actually kind of lose the pressure hand size, but you'll see the value in going wide with Zoro and the 6 Robin. So first we're going to banish a ramp like usual play. So what we want them to do is either lose the life or like lose the hand, which they lose the hand, 2k counters, that's actually pretty good. So the first ones I see, so you see 2 Beges. So that kind of tells me they're doing the ace, kind of like the ace Yamato high end, just because, you know, you kind of want to bet on those going into your life. Those are also a good 2k counter. So that tells me what their game plan is going to be. Obviously, so we want to prevent them from doing that. At the same time, they've already lost 2 2ks. Actually, sorry. Now that I think about it, the Ace Yamato variants, I think it runs Dereshi, It runs Dereshi, another card that I can't remember, and not a lot of 2k counters. So losing 2k counters against this version of Robin is pretty big. So we want to sort of keep up that pressure. So they use Dereshi to replenish their hand. Let's see what they get. Frankie, which is a 2k counter. Oh, only a Frankie. Okay, that's interesting. So doing 6. Normally I take this no problem. They ramp, that's fine. But I don't want to take this first hit. Just because I don't want to take the first hit just because I don't want to lose resources fast. Again, they're playing sort of the same place that we're doing. Now we're just going to, normally I wouldn't do a second ramp, but I kind of want to because I see that I have 9 lane in hand. And again, 9 lane is a way to remove bodies from board. I know that they're going to be running the Robin, the 6 Robin on the board, so I kind of want to get rid of that. That one, I think we take this one. I don't want to lose too many 2k counters. There, we want to keep Olivia. We want to keep Olivia in our hand as much as possible because that's late game pressure again. 7 lane. Oh wait, sorry. I actually don't. I think I. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention for a second there. I think I. Yeah. So I did discard Sanji. Okay, that's a weird move on my end, but I believe I was predicting that they had 7 lane. Just because they ramped the previous turn, which they did. In that case, I don't mind banishing my own life, just because, you know, it sort of counts as 1 hit anyways, so it's fine. So we see our 6 Zoro. So I kind of want to swing low here. I don't mind giving them a card. I know they're gonna take this. Oh, I kind of mess up here. Yeah, because in my head I'm like, oh, I could just banish. I could just put the 7 lane in life. But, whoopsies. I forgot it's a 6 cost or less. That's fine. We still gain a life. You're going to go into Robin. That's fine. She sort of did her job already. And plus, we got an extra life off of them. Let's pause here and see what happened so far. So we're not, like, just looking at the state of the board, we're not in the best position when it comes to card advantage. But keep in mind that they used a Dereshi, which is 3 cost. So during that 3 cost turn, like where they could have done something else, they only played an event that gave them 2 searches. So technically they should be at 3 cards to 1 versus 5 cards to 1. So it's whatever in my head. It is definitely a tough spot. We're gonna take this banish. It's a Bonney. Then they do a play. They're probably gonna maybe they're just hella bricked. So they draw a Nami and a Capone. Egg Nami and Capone. Egg Nami we don't really care about because we're in the stage where we're just spamming 9 lane at the board. They put down the 6 lane on us, which I honestly think we're okay to trash our cards just because we only have 1 card. And this is sort of where it kind of gets wild. So we get the Dereshi, we get 2 2Ks, one of them is a Clover, the other is Olivia. So I'll tell you my mindset. I'm trying to bet on getting a Sol so I can play it out. But unfortunately we don't. There is value in the 6 Robin here if they had 3 life, but obviously they don't anymore. So we just get the Olivia. So I think we attack into leader, banish. So I think, yeah, so they dump their entire hand, which is actually kind of what I want. Because now I could just attack freely into the 7 lane. And then that forces them. Actually, let's see what happens. Yeah, so we attack it to 7 lane, they trash it, and I think they give up here. Yeah, like, I mean, like, look at the pressure we applied. Like, they had 5 cards, we only had 1 card. Off of Dereshi, technically we got 3 2Ks, but we had to get one of the 2Ks to get our other 2K, which is kind of meh. But look at what happened to the hand size. We swung 9 into them because they just had no bodies on board. So we didn't need to take care of board. We just took care of the leader. So their hand advantage just dwindled down to like 5. And they lost their big body. So all they're left is with a 6 small and nothing else. And they give up. So they got a Clover trigger. I'm going to spend some time sort of talking about this end screen. Because these are the routes that the other Robin had. So they could just go into life. Even if they had I don't think they're running the 9 cost Luffy that has rush. But even if they did, we have 3 lives, so they need 4 hits. they're not going to get 4 hits before I kill them. Because I have Law, which, again, it's not a big card, it's only a 2k, but having 3 bodies is pretty big. Because we have, so if they have 2 life, let's say they go all in on getting rid of the 9 land, I have 2 2ks. Even if they do that, they're wasting all their resources, and they're not using any of their cards.
Okay, so editor's note here. So what I was trying to say is if they went all in on the 9 land, that would have been fine. I would have probably countered out with the 2Ks, and if they committed even more, like the 6 land could try to KO the 9 land, but I wouldn't let them. And even if they did, they have like no cards because I think they're not playing any boss bodies other than the ace. If they had the ace, they would have played it already, but they didn't, so they just don't have any cards. I know that. And they would just swing into leader. I would just use board to get rid of the 6-lin and then just, you know, do a slow bleed after that. Because, like, again, I have 2 2Ks. I would either use them to save the 9-lin or just save them for, like, you know, lethal in like 2 or 3 turns. That's sort of the mindset I have here, which is why I believe they sort of quit it out. So yeah, I just noticed that while I was editing. Okay, go back to past me.
Okay, RP Luffy. This is an interesting one. This is an interesting matchup because in my head, I think Robin would lose to this, but there are ways to win it. I will say before this round, I did play a couple other matches of RP Luffy and I lost. I'm still trying to figure out the matchup, but I think for starters, you want to go second, which is weird. I'll tell you why. I'll explain why. So the issue with RP Luffy is that they're starting with 6 life, so you almost don't want to swing into them because your 6 Robin loses value already. But we'll see. I'll do it in this video or in this match. But what we actually do is we're actually going to try and bait out cards from his hand to prep him for the 6 Robin. Because, so he's just going to swing. We don't care about, yeah, we insta-take that. So what we're going to do here is we're actually going to swing 6. Oh, I'm shading. We're going to play 6, and I believe we're going to do a Dereshi. That's the 6 cost to replenish a hand. So here's what I'm thinking here. So, I have a Robin that I want to play. But the Robin loses value if he banishes his life, or if he takes the life in general. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to, again, it's a game about card advantage. We're trying to bleed him out. So I'm going to swing in 6k. It's a 6k banish. He could take this. And we honestly don't care. We trash the Egg Nami. And he's going to give us a counter, which is perfect because now he's dwindling his hand size. At the same time, we ramped up with the Egg Nami. And we're getting 2 more counters. A Bonney and a Clover. Okay, so yeah, so we got 2 cards in return. That's fine. This I kind of want to counter because it's the same idea as Shanks. It's the same idea as Shanks in that we're going to be getting hit. We're gonna get hit by big bodies soon. So I want to kind of preserve my life. This is definitely when we 9 Robin, and honestly maybe Olivia. Nope, we just go 6. We just go 6, no ramp. Because we're going second, we're going to be at 9 done next turn. They give us another card. That's perfect. 5 into leader. We just counter out, I believe. Robin is not going to get any more value. Dragon. This part's a little scary because Dragon kind of does add a lot of pressure. Ideally, I counter out of this. Yeah, we're not going to use Dereshi anymore, so we trigger it to draw a card. This is when it gets scary. When you're down to when you're down to 2 life against like a big body like this, that's when the game kind of gets scary. We have a Bonney, so I think I'm going to be playing out the Bonney with the Robin effect because again, Robin doesn't have any value here. Okay, we have another Dereshi. We keep getting this card. So there's actually multiple plays. There's actually multiple plays we can do here. We can Onami banish, but they have 5 cards, so it's kind of risky. We can 9 Lin to get a life, which honestly isn't a bad play. Rush. I wouldn't say Rush Luffy, not now. No Rush Luffy right now. I'd hedge it on Yamato or 9 Lin. Okay, so we're gonna swing 5. He might just give it up. Oh, he doesn't give it up. There you go. So again, idea with dwindling my hand or dwindling his hand. There you go. Rush Luffy. Okay. Oh no, I see. Yeah, rush Luffy into the dragon. Yeah, so we were targeting the dragon the entire time. We go into Sunday just because we want to sort of pretend that we want to kill it off. When in actuality, we have the rush in hand. The 9 rush Luffy is pretty good, and I think this is when he loses plays to do. Like when you see a rapid deck playing a searcher this late into the game, late being they have a lot of dawn, that means they don't have the play anymore, and they're trying to search. They're going soul searching, you know. This more than likely we don't defend. Okay, interesting. I would say we defend. Oh, because we have the... Oh, sorry, yeah. So we have the Sol. I didn't see the Sol. So let's see what happens next. So they have a... Even if they play a rush, they play a blocker, which is fine. Oh, this is where the maths go, because I think this is where the game ends. Everything needs to hit. Yeah, you can see me counting. Because I see the Olivia again. More on topic with the Olivia. Because I want to use the Olivia to boost my leader. So we're going to do that on top of Law, I'd assume. Or maybe not even now. Okay, so we're going to boost our leader. Give 1 to Robin. So attack for 9. No trash. Surprising he doesn't block this. I'll be honest, I'm surprised he doesn't block this. Because we go 9 in again. And then I think we go 9. Oh, sorry, we go 10, yeah. We go 10 to force out the blocker, and then we just go 10 with Sol, and then that just wins the game. Roger, and Kiki. Roger and Kiki and Trash is kind of crazy. And then I guess just like another bonus. This is with the new list, I'll tell you that, but I don't think we use Bonney or Dereshi in this match, which kind of sucks, but like, again, I'm just kind of confused because, like, in theory, I think Purple Black Luffy should win, but I don't know. Maybe it's people just trying out new things with Purple Black Luffy, but most of these games I don't think I should be winning just because of theory crafting of what the deck does. But again, it's the same idea with Robin versus Purple Black Luffy is what I'm noticing. Is that, yeah, let me pause it here actually, because this is something I actually learned after this game. Sort of the same vein as Nico Robin, or at least how people want to play Nico Robin, in that they want to play big bodies. That means they're not going to have a lot of counter in hand. Keep in mind that 3-cost Zoro that you like ramp up with, like the Zoro that you trash Dawn and then you get a Dawn back, like that has no counter. So like you're definitely running 4 of those in this, and then you're probably running 9 Luffy. You're probably running Nika. That's already 12 non-counters, and there's not a lot of space to like put in 2Ks. So, but this guy's playing the Gecko variant. I'm not much of a fan of the Gecko variant just because I honestly don't think this leader should have been purple black. Like this leader would have been perfectly fine just purple, but like I get that it's also like there's already a purple leader. So it kind of makes sense. We already took a life. I think we take this one, yeah. Just get more counter. Okay, what do we do here? I actually haven't looked at my hand yet. So we play. So yeah, we do a swing, 6K swing. He probably blocks out. Surprisingly, see like again, like 6K counter. He loses a blocker. That tells me like he just doesn't have any counter, which is surprising to me. There's no way you lose your chopper like that. And we just play a Banish Zoro and that's it. I don't think like Purple Black Luffy isn't playing anything to pop the board unless they're playing. Actually, no, I think this one's playing the Sanji, which it was kind of frustrating. I'll be real with you, just like because I would play out a blocker Sol, and then it just gets popped. I'm like, okay, this is kind of scary. But yeah, like honestly, with this Luffy, it's just a best of both worlds situation. They got the sort of ability from Luffy and then the ability from the Star Deck 14. And they just put it together. Okay, so we get a Clover off trigger. No trigger effect. At this point, I want the 2Ks because, again, my life is pretty sad right now. What do we do here? We could Yamato. Yamato is an option. But we do banish. See if he blocks out. Oh, yes. Yes, a little misplay for me here. A little misplay for me here. What I should have done is played Yamato first. Because I honestly forgot this does a +1. Even if it says that right on the screen. Well, yeah, my idea was I'm going to get rid of the Frankie. I'm going to get rid of the Frankie with the blocker. Sorry, with the Zoro swing because he wants to block it. And then just pop the Sanji. Because we will both have 5 life. Or, sorry, in total we will have 5 life, which will pop that. But, obviously, I didn't read the cost one. That's in giant bolded letters. So honestly, the play here would be to pop the Frankie and then swing Zoro. And yeah, you can see me in chat like, oh, fuck, I forgot it was 6. But nevertheless, we still swing. See, that's crazy. A 5k swing and no banish, and he has 5 cards. Like, you have to imagine what's in his hand that has no counter. Which is crazy to me. Because, like, that shouldn't happen. So he's going to pop my Yamato with that event. I don't know what event that's called, but I've seen it around. I think it's a great event, honestly. Especially with Luffy's effect. We want to defend the Zoro. Come on, Tomoe, defend the Zoro. No, we don't give up the Searcher. Give up Banish Nami, which kind of hurts, to be honest, but it's whatever. It's whatever, honestly. We give up the Tiki counter, we don't want to go to 1 life, and we get a Frankie back. I guess we're just that good. So, I want to get rid of that Sanji. And honestly, I think if I swing into him with the Banish Zoro, I think he'll let it go. Because I think he wants to save the Borsalino blocker for my leader swing. That's what I'm sort of thinking about right there. So 8k. 8k into 6k. He obviously does have a counter from the turn. Okay, I guess he does have counter. That's fine. I think we 9-lin here. Or we could Robin here and then just pop the Sanji. Sorry, 6 Robin. 9-lin. 6 Robin does get rid of a life. Which adds more pressure. Yeah, so that's what I'm thinking here. So there is 9-lin, which could remove one of the pieces on the board. Or we could just get rid of a life and try and get rid of one of his units. Because if we swing in 8 or even 7, like that has to be a 2k, and that's not a 2k at this point. Oh, 5. Okay, so it looks like I'm playing a blocker. There you go. And then again with the Sanji, it's just so unfortunate. Like he also top decked that Sanji, which is crazy. Anyways, that's how it is sometimes. He needs to get rid of this. Because I have too much counter. So it depends where he swings. I'll defend depending on where he swings. If he's gonna swing into the Zoro. I honestly don't mind if he swings into the leader at this point. Because like I know I have too many bodies on the board. Yeah, that we take. I take again Eggnami, which is pretty cool. And we get the 9 Luffy, That's crazy. The 9 Luffy I think the 9 Luffy close out the game here because he can't guard this. The only issue is that Borsalino, I think, ironically, it does well in this deck in my opinion, especially with Shanks and Blackbeard roaming around. So we get him to turn. This gets his Borso to turn sideways. There's no way that this is a 3k counter. The only 3k counter purple has is a 0 cost, and you need a card to trash that. Unless he does that. Fuck, I forgot about that event. Wait, what is that? Wait, no, that's the that's the kick, right? Yeah, this is a 4k counter. Maybe you need to trash a card, actually. Well, I don't know. That's strange. Yeah, please let me just know down below if you know what happens there, because I don't necessarily understand that scene. But yeah, like, again, getting the Borso, I think Borso does well in this, not in this matchup, but in this deck in general, because it's a blocker you can't get rid of unless you're playing blue. But yeah, like, look at what he's gonna do next. Like Gecko, Sakazuki admittedly is kind of weird in my opinion, but I guess this is to take care of like the Yasops and like stuff Robin can put out, and probably honestly Dofi, because Dofi is gonna be roaming around in OP09. But look at what he top decked. If he had this earlier, he could have gotten his Frankie back, and maybe even the Toy Soldier back actually. And the Toy Soldier honestly sets up a KO, a Sakazuki KO on our Zoro. So again, I think Gecko does well in this deck if you play it defensively. I know Noah has a list where he plays this deck more defensively, which honestly isn't. You can't blame him. Like a lot of the leaders in OP09, in my opinion, they're pretty good as universal decks. Like Purple Black Luffy, like it's pretty universal. Like if you lose a Dawn, if you lose 2 Dawn, you get 2 Dawn back, active rested. It's just the support he got is really good. Same thing with Shanks. Leader has an overall. I think the leader has an overall good-ish ability. It's not the greatest, but like it's decent. And then the support he got is just cracked. What else? Buggy and Blackbeard and Lim. Those ones are more support based in my opinion, but they just got really good support. Lim is iffy. I haven't checked out Lim's list, but I think it's pretty interesting from all the demo videos I've seen. And then Blackbeard just got really good support. Robin, again, same idea. It's a great universal effect. It's just the issue is she didn't really get that much support. And like I honestly don't blame Bandai for not giving her support. There's already great yellow cards with Egghead. And honestly giving a leader that has Banish already like a good supporting cast, that is scary. So I honestly don't believe it. But yeah, those are the 3 games. To the outro. Okay, that wraps up our games today. So yeah, like we saw a lot of the value that this trigger can bring. Again, just getting more cards, filtering out the bad ones. Because I don't know if it's like a me thing, but like on the sim, I keep getting these cards early and I'm just like, I don't want this now, I want this later. I need these cards. But yeah, like these 2 cards are very valuable for replenishing your hand. And they could act as trashes for Robin ramp. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see this card shine, but I think this card is a good tech. Just in it honestly depends on what your locals is. This could honestly be a different card. Like I wouldn't complain if this was like another Bonney or I don't know, maybe another. Dereshi is kind of like a garbage card in hand. Because like you get to a point where you're late in game and you have like 2 of this in hand, and then you're like, I need counter or like I need plays. But yeah, that's sort of why I'm kind of antsy on having 3 of this. But honestly, like it's good. It's a good card to have on like mid game if you just don't have any plays. You could just stock up on counter. I'm sure Robin's going to get better as the meta sort of settles in Japan and everybody starts to sort of figure out what's what. I'm not saying I'm a pro where I have like the Oracle insight on this game, but I'm just a fan of Nico Robin. I think this leader is cool. Whether she's good or bad, you can expect me to play her because she's my favorite character, and no one can say anything otherwise. But I think this deck list is pretty solid. I'll still be experimenting on the side, and I'll update you guys once I get a new list, or maybe I'll just post more games of this deck list to show the value in each of the cards. But for now, I think I'm going to be doing like other decks. I'll show you something. I'll show you like a preview. This deck, Red Purple Utsa. This is my cope deck, and I honestly think this is a good deck. Like I played like 3 games and I fucking destroyed everybody with it. I wish I got on video, but I didn't. But holy shit, this deck is super fun. But yeah, that's probably the video that's coming up next. But yeah, I'll be testing out more Robin. And I'll be doing like other fun off meta decks like RP Utsa. I'm kind of glad there hasn't been any intel on RP Utsa yet, just because it feels original when I do it. But yeah, more off meta decks. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a comment, or if you have anything else to add, any suggestions on cards I should add, or like questions, feel free to ask. Or if you like the video and you want to see more, please subscribe. I'll see you guys later. See ya.